Hey, wonderful people. It is Mark here from Not Defining This, and I hope you're doing so well. I wanted to come on here today and talk about something which is a little bit difficult. It's a little bit controversial and uncomfortable for me. As you know, this site is dedicated in large part to breaking down those negative stereotypes that get thrown against bisexual men, such as myself. However, Not Defining is really about getting right underneath the truth and talking about those things which are really, really real. So I wanted to say 6 things which some bisexual men might feel, and I speak to hundreds of bi people all the time in my coaching and here online. These are things which a lot of us worry about, and they're kind of inconvenient truths that I want to just share. And I hope that in sharing them, we can all just feel more normal and valid, because they're not bad things. They're just things. So here are my 6 things that some bisexual men may not want you to know. So the first thing is that some bisexual men are gay. It might sound a bit strange to say that, because how can a bisexual man be gay? Well, unfortunately, there are some bi guys who, in reality, if they could identify or feel safe to identify in the way that they wanted to, would probably be gay. But they do use bisexual or bisexuality as a kind of cover. It feels more safe for them to use the term bisexual. And I think there are a lot of mixed conceptions about this in the community. I think a lot of people will say, they shouldn't be doing that, or they're wrong to do that. I actually take a different view. I think that if you are so terrified of identifying as gay that you feel it's safer to identify as bi, then you're welcome. You are so welcome in our community. You can identify with us for as long as you like. The real enemy here, the real issue, is homophobia, queerphobia. So some bi men are, in reality, if they really feel about it in their heart of hearts, they are gay. And you know what? That's okay. The second thing that bisexual men might not want you to know is that some of us are confused. I can attest to this. I have spent my entire life confused about bisexuality. It's quite a confusing thing. I am an author, a content creator, an educator, a coach in the topic of bisexuality, and I'm still really confused by it. So often it's this trope that's kind of thrown against us, and they say, oh, you're not bisexual, you're just confused. Well, that's not true. You can be bisexual and be confused. I think sexuality, attraction, relationships, sex, love, and all of that are quite confusing things. Like, why are you attracted to one person and not another? Like, why do you want to have sex with one person and not another? Like, that's really confusing. And particularly with the lack of education that we get, we don't get taught about bisexuality. There's not a lot of role models. There's not a lot of kind of resources out there. So a lot of bi people are confused, and that's absolutely okay. By the way, if you are struggling, or if you are confused, or you want to talk to someone, or you want to connect with other bi people, then come and join our Patreon. You can chat with me 24 hours a day. I will answer all of your questions. And we also have group chats and group forums and all kinds of resources where you can come and just join with other bi people. So it's patreon.com/notdefining. We would love to see you. So the next thing is that sometimes we find it easier to get with men than with women. Okay. And I think the misconception here is that, once again, oh, well, bisexual men are really gay and they don't really like women. They're just pretending. No, this is nonsense. The reality is that for a lot of us, it's much easier. It's much easier to get with guys. You go on an app and you can hook up with a guy in minutes. It's really easy. And if you talk to a lot of bisexual men, they will tell you that it just feels much more accessible. There's less of a responsibility or an expectation to kind of follow that masculine archetype. A lot of bisexual men will get with men more than with women, or they'll have slept with more men than with women, or have more relationships. And that is not a reflection of their actual desires or their actual attractions. It's just because of the ease of getting with men. The next thing is that a lot of men worry that they are watching more men for men adult content than what we might call heterosexual adult content, or just women. And I think a lot of people believe mistakenly that that means that they are not interested in women at all and that they are just gay. This is not the case, okay? It doesn't matter what your adult content preferences are. It doesn't reflect your actual sexuality. It is quite common for bisexual men to watch kind of more men or male content. And the funny thing is that women actually watch more women in their adult content preferences. That's lesbians and bisexual women, and get this, straight women as well. So straight women are oftentimes more likely to watch women in their adult content, right? Straight women. So adult content is a funny thing. It's a lot about different factors, and it's a lot about kind of like who is centered and whose pleasure is centered, and like there's lots of different things. So if you're a guy who's bisexual who watches predominantly kind of guys in adult content and is worried that like that means something about him, please don't worry. That is completely normal, and it doesn't mean anything about your bisexuality. Some bisexual people also worry that if they're not watching so-called bisexual porn, it means that they are less bi. And once again, let me tell you that that stuff that's called bisexual porn has nothing to do with bisexuality. That's really just mainly kind of threesomes and things, and that's really not what like most bi people are actually into. So don't worry about that. Number 5 is a lot of bisexual men will worry that they are not masculine enough or manly enough. I think this is something that a lot of us struggle with. You know, we might be attracted to men and women, but it's not just about our attractions. I think there's often all this stigma that comes along with being queer or being LGBT, and a lot of us have stories in our upbringing about being different and being kind of cast away and not being like manly enough or not fitting in with the guys, like a lot of gay men will as well. And I think this can be really, really difficult, not only if we have like a male partner, but particularly if we have a female partner. If we are in that heteronormative world, we might have that hetero relationship, but we still have to deal with the fact that we feel that queerness, or we feel that kind of otherness, and we can worry about that. So I just want to say to any bi guys out there who are experiencing that, you are not alone. You absolutely are man enough. You are absolutely wonderful, and it is your unique version of masculinity which is going to shine and connect you with people of all genders. It is just absolutely beautiful. So please don't worry about that. And then the final thing that bi guys don't want you to know is that sometimes bi guys do in fact cheat. That's right. Sometimes bi guys cheat. And the thing with this is that, look, a lot of people cheat. I'm sorry to tell you, but a huge proportion of people in relationships cheat. Okay? It is between a quarter and a third of all people have cheated in relationships in their lives. Okay, so that's people of all sexualities. The problem when it comes to bisexual people is that if we do find ourselves cheating, we will blame it on our bisexuality, particularly if we are cheating or attracted to or feeling that we want to be unfaithful with someone of another gender. So we're like, oh, well, that must be because of my sexuality. No, it's not. It's not. It's just because you want to get with someone else. Like, a lot of people cheat. Now, cheating is not a good thing to do, but it happens. It's nothing specific about you being bisexual, even if it's someone of another gender. It's not. It's like, people cheat, people have needs. That's it. So if anyone is in that space or having those feelings, you are not alone. It does not mean anything particular about bi people, that they are, more susceptible to being unfaithful. The research shows that that's actually the opposite of the truth. So come and write in the comments, do you connect with any of these things? Would you like to ask any questions? I will always try to get back to you if I can. And I love when we can share experiences. Let's all relate and validate each other in the comments. And hopefully this has helped you to feel a little bit more seen. If you want to find out more about bisexuality, check out this playlist because I've got so much content. And come to notdefining.com, come to Patreon, come have a chat, and I would love to see you. Thank you so much for listening, and I will speak to you again very soon. Bye for now.